Hey guys, in this video I'd like to share my experience at the Capital One Lounge in Dulles International Airport. In the first half of the video I'll provide a visual walkthrough of the Capital One Lounge, and then in the second half of the video I will provide my impressions across three different categories. The first is food and beverage, the second are the amenities, and the third is the atmosphere. And then I'll also provide a letter grade for each of these categories. So entry into the lounge is free for Venture X holders, and you're actually allowed to bring up to 2 guests without an additional charge. Venture X is Capital One's premium travel card. It's fairly new, having only launched in 2021. It does come with an annual fee of $395, which is quite steep. It could be a turnoff for some people, but honestly the high price deters overcrowding in the lounge to some degree, so that's a small benefit. When you enter the lounge, you have to show them your Venture X card as well as your boarding pass for the day. They will allow you into the lounge as long as you don't enter more than 3 hours before your boarding time. And it's also key that you have a seat assignment on your ticket. So what are the primary benefits of the lounge, especially for those who've never been to one before? First and foremost, it's probably the free food and the drinks. There's also the benefit of lounges are just more pleasant to chill and work. Certainly when you're at a gate, those can be overcrowded. People are fighting for power outlets. There are no tables, more noise and foot traffic. So having a lounge where you have some dedicated space to yourself is certainly a benefit. Alright, so what about the food? The food is served across 2 different categories. There's the grab and go, and then there's also what you could consider a buffet, which consists of small plates of food. I like this small plate concept because it eliminates the need for sharing serving utensils, and it's therefore more hygienic. There's also no limit on the number of plates you can get, so it is essentially a buffet. The food itself has kind of an elevated vibe to it, so you won't find like chicken tenders or fries. The vibe is more deviled eggs, tahini coconut parfait, things like that. And that also fits the clientele since the Venture X is considered to be one of the more premium credit cards out there. There's also a significant amount of food variety, and there are some good options for vegetarians and vegans, albeit options for those groups are more limited to salads. I found the drink selection to be top-notch as well. In addition to a bar, there's an extensive collection of sodas, coffees, and teas. And while not shown in the video, separate from the buffet, there's a grab-and-go section near the front of the entrance. It's a nice amenity because it encourages some people not to linger for too long and contribute to the already crowded nature of the lounge. Options at the grab-and-go include small acai bowls, soda, boxed water, sandwiches, fruit cups, and veggie cups. In terms of the service, I noticed there were around 3 to 4 different staff members who would consistently walk around the lounge, and they would clean up used plates, glasses, and cups. And because of this, it removed the need to bus your own items. Alright, what about amenities? I noticed when you first walk in the lounge, they have a collection of lockers controlled by numeric code access. It is a nice touch, but I feel like there aren't many situations where you would leave your luggage for more than a few minutes. The only brief times you'd probably leave your stuff at a table are if you go to the bathroom or you're getting more food or drinks, so the lockers aren't really frequently used. In terms of the Wi-Fi, it's pretty fast. I didn't stream a movie, but you shouldn't have much difficulty with, streaming YouTube or Netflix. There are also 3 to 4 private bathrooms, which I checked a couple of times during my stay, and there was, at least at that time, at least one that was vacant, and this was like a Thursday afternoon. The bathrooms are spacious, almost to a fault. I feel like they could have cut down the size of each bathroom so that they could actually build one extra one. And then regarding the power outlets, they're pretty plentiful. They're generally within an arm's length of each seat. Occasionally this means that it's easy to trip over them, especially if you're sitting on the other side of the table, not directly in front of the power outlets. But, it's a high quality problem to have, given that if you're at an airport gate, power outlets are certainly few and far between. Alright, lastly, the atmosphere. So, if I were to evaluate atmosphere across crowds, noise level, and design and decor, the crowds is definitely the biggest downside. The lounge itself isn't particularly large from a square footage perspective, and I feel like this is mainly because the seating area is on the perimeter of the lounge. The center of the lounge is off limits because that's where the kitchen is located. So the actual number of seats is probably at most 60 to 75. I arrived on a Thursday afternoon in February, and seating was pretty hard to find already. So I can only imagine what it's like during the spring or the summer. The noise level was pretty good actually. It didn't feel that noisy. This is in part because most people are doing their own thing on their laptops or talking quietly on their phones. There is music that plays from the ceiling speakers at all times, but it's relatively soft and they choose a music selection that's pretty unobtrusive. Lastly, design and decor. There's artwork on many of the walls, which gives a nice touch. The furniture is quite comfortable and it gives off crate and barrel type of vibes. For those who work in the local McLean corporate office, the furniture selection is quite similar to what's found at work. So there you have it. That's the introduction to the repositioning cruise. Hope that this is helpful for all you budget travelers out there.